A long time ago, there was a family that lived happily in a small, quiet house in Poland. One day, they learned that their grandparents were coming to live with them.
Our house is very small, but we will make room for our family. It will be wonderful to have everybody under one roof.
I'm so excited. Bubby and Zadie can have my room, and I'll sleep next to the fireplace in the kitchen.
But the father was worried. He went to his rabbi for advice.
Let them move in. It will be all right.
So, the grandparents moved in. The house suddenly became very crowded and much noisier. Chatter, chatter, chatter.
They brought a lot of furniture, and they piled it up in the middle of the living room.
The father was so stressed out. He went to his rabbi for advice.
Help me, Rabbi. My wife and I have a child and 2 babies, plus my in-laws, all living in a tiny hut. We are constantly in each other's way, and our nerves are shot. It seems like we're fighting all the time. Things could not possibly be worse.
The rabbi thought quietly for a moment.
My son, if you promise to do exactly as I tell you, your condition will improve.
I promise. I'll do anything you say.
Tell me, what animals do you own?
We have 3 goats, a cow, and some chickens.
Ah, perfect. Now go home and bring the chickens into the house.
The father was confused, but he had promised to do anything the rabbi said, so he went home and brought all of the chickens inside the house to live with his family.
Father, there are feathers everywhere. What is going on? This didn't help at all. It's even worse now with all the clucking and the pecking and the flapping of wings.
The father went back to the rabbi the very next day.
So, Rabbi, I did what you said, but now, with my in-laws and the chickens, it is really crowded in the house. Things could not possibly be worse.
I understand. You're doing a great job. Now, bring your goats inside the house.
The father knew the rabbi was very wise, and besides, he had promised. So he brought all 3 goats from the barn to live inside the house with his family and his in-laws and his chickens.
This is so much worse. The chickens are flapping and clucking and pecking, and now the goats are all banging and butting their heads against the wall. I can barely move around in here.
The next day, the father went back to the rabbi.
I did what you said, Rabbi. Now my in-laws have no place to sleep because the chickens are laying eggs in their bed. Goats are sticking their heads into everything and making a lot of noise. Things could not possibly be worse.
The rabbi thought quietly. He looked very puzzled. Finally, he said,
Aha! Your cow! Bring your cow into the house.
This was a bit much, but the father trusted the rabbi. He went home and brought the cow inside to live with his family. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Father, the chickens have moved into the cabinet and there are feathers in the food. The goats keep banging and butting their heads into Bobby and Zadie and each other and the walls. And now the cow has sat on Mother's eyeglasses and broken them. Father, what do we do?
Completely at the end of his rope, the father went back to the rabbi.
Rabbi, I've followed your advice, but I can't take this anymore. My in-laws are exhausted, the cow is breaking things, and my house smells disgusting. Please help me.
You're absolutely right. Here's what you do. Take the chickens out of your house and put them back in the chicken coop. Take the goats out of your house and put them back in the barn. And take the cow out of your house and put her back in the field.
The farmer ran home and did exactly as the rabbi had told him. As he took the animals out of the house, his child and wife and in-laws began to tidy up the rooms. By the time the last chicken was settled in the coop, the house looked quite nice, and it was quiet.
Our home is the most spacious, peaceful, and comfortable home anywhere.
The end.